I was really excited about today. I mean, it's very rare for me to get the opportunity to take the day off, but last night I stayed up late, made sure that I got my Tua Tagovailoa follow-up video done, scheduled for you guys at 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning, so I could sleep in a little bit and take a day off. But ultimately, when I woke up, a bunch of people tagged me in an Antonio Brown story, and ultimately, it looks like Antonio Brown had different plans for me today, because as a result, we are now uploading twice today. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like to support the grind, and if you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, you can check us out on Patreon or our channel memberships program. But what's more important to me is you have my notifications on. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I've always had one gigantic dilemma whenever it comes to clothing. Usually I appear on this channel in a comfortable black t-shirt that usually represents my branding. But the issue I've always had is every single time I decide to go shopping for clothes, after wearing it 1 or 2 times and washing it, the clothes essentially need to go into the garbage. At the same time, I don't believe in purchasing uncomfortable, overpriced pieces of clothing that would put a gigantic hole in my wallet. I have a problem. I need to find clothes that are comfortable, but at the same time, I need to find clothing that is professional, and that is where Cuts come in. Cuts is a work leisure brand with professional quality fabrics that impress everywhere you go. They're super versatile because you can wear a piece of Cuts clothing to your office, and then after work, if you want to go on a date, you can wear it there too. And at the same time, if you have a night with the boys, you'll be able to wear it there as well. Most importantly, you don't need to wear a shirt with a gigantic logo or piece of branding on it, which I can't stand, because if I'm spending money on a shirt, I don't want to be paying the company to advertise their t-shirt. The only detail they have on their shirt is an X on the side hem. My personal favorite is the Cuts joggers and hoodie that you saw in this video, and right now they're hooking up my subscribers with 15% off when you go to cuts.team/microphone. That's cuts.team/microphone for 15% off, and thank you, Cuts, for the sponsorship. A lot of people are gonna bring up why this incident happened. Everyone likes to point the finger at the fact that Antonio Brown may very well have CTE. After all, we actually made a video on it where we literally compare how he interviewed before Vontaze Burfict absolutely destroyed him in a game, and how he interviewed and behaved afterwards. But that aside, man, ever since Antonio Brown, I guess, retired from the NFL, he's been on a streak where he's tried to get the media's attention as much as he could. Now, there's been times where he's done this in a fairly tasteful way, where he tweeted out this meme from a meme page saying that his biggest regret in his career doesn't involve calling his GM a cracker or showing up to the Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve him taking his shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jets stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that, like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks. And like, that's not his only attention grabbing stunt. Obviously, there is his Rolling Loud performance, which turned into a bit of a viral touchdown dance trend in the NFL. I mean, his dance has been so catchy that you're literally seeing head coaches do it following victories in the NFL. So there's been tasteful ways where he's been grabbing our attention, like I guess his rap career, and I guess even this meme I felt like was kind of a funny joke. And then there's been less tasteful ways. Like in August, once again, he took a shot at Tom Brady once again, saying Tom Brady manipulate the game, gets 14 days to go home to get his mind right. Now you see the difference. Put that shit on. Still no justice for real. This tweet has been deleted since then, but we made a video on it at the time. But for the most part, you guys have to go into this content that I'm about to show you knowing that Antonio Brown has become a master at grabbing our attention, despite it being almost 10 months since the last time he's put on a football jersey. Now that brings us to this viral clip. Now, if you want to see the whole clip, you guys could go ahead and check it out on my Instagram story or on my Twitter. They're a little bit more lax over there than they are on YouTube. But pretty much here's what goes down.
Yeah, one more. Yeah, another one.
waterboarding her.
He's giving her the longboard.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do we get started? Look, I see a lot of comments saying, look at the woman's face. She's clearly smiling. She's clearly having a good time. And hell, even Antonio Brown actually provides commentary on this via his Twitter account, which we're going to get to in a second. And on top of that, I do acknowledge that this video may have been taken out of context. I mean, everyone seems to be smiling. Everyone seems to be laughing. His boys seem to be egging him on, saying, yeah, do it, do it. So there is the possibility that this one snippet that makes Antonio Brown look really, really bad made it to the internet. However, my interpretation of this video is a little different. I mean, the woman could be smiling, but at the same time, she could be incredibly uncomfortable, which is the vibe that like 90% of humanity is getting from this video. I mean, look, man, being naked in a pool with a woman who is swimming away from you is not ever a good look. I mean, that goes without saying. I don't think this is behavior that you really need to explain to people. I mean, if you want to go skinny dipping and obviously the woman's interested and both sides are interested in partaking in skinny dipping, fine. At the very minimum, you don't need to record it and post it onto social media, which is why I think it's so on brand for Antonio Brown to do something like this. And there's times, like I mentioned earlier on in this video, where Antonio Brown does a remarkable job grabbing people's attention in a tasteful way, like when he was performing at Rolling Loud, like when he posted a meme that was pretty much making fun of him. And then there's times where he just goes a little bit too far and does it in a way that makes everyone look at him and say, what the hell are you doing? I mean, what kind of behavior is this? Everyone is commenting on his CTE, which again, we have a documentary on that, which I highly recommend you check out after this video because it explains a lot what happened to him before and what happened to him after. But for the very most part, I don't think you need me to come here and tell you that it's not a good idea to post this type of video onto the internet if the sides are consenting. But like on top of that, if you look at the video, it doesn't look like this chick is actually comfortable with what's going on. And everything in this video just makes AB look bad. I mean, I'm a supporter of his. I want him to get back into the NFL. I don't think it's gonna happen at this point, but I do want him to get into the NFL. I think he's super freaking talented, really entertaining, and I'm really sad that his behavior is going to result in him probably never making it back to the NFL again, despite him clearly having the talent to play football. It's a little sad, man, because my interpretation of this is Antonio Brown doing something bizarre and honestly very uncomfortable in order to cling on to any type of relevance he still has, which don't get me wrong, he's a master marketer, but that was primarily because he was a remarkable football player. And now he's getting attention because he's just doing bizarre things. He's throwing his ex-teammates under the bus. I mean, look at what he said about Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
If Tom Brady's my boy, why am I playing for earnest salary?
Right.
You my boy though, right?
Right.
Gronkowski is boy, right?
Right.
How much did he get paid?
Significant amount.
All right, so why is AB on a prove it deal? Who's better than me over there? Let's be real.
Right, but don't
no, let's not be right. Let's be honest.
No,
This is the podcast to be real.
No, I'll be real.
Who is the best guy over there?
AB.
Since you guys know football, who is it?
For sure,
Who's
AB.
the best guy over on that team?
No,
Playing
AB.
Football, receiver-wise,
AB.
who is
It's
the
AB.
guy that get it popping?
It's
I mean,
AB.
I think it's a combination of all you guys. I think it was AB.
Domination now.
Dude, she's not.
Now, Antonio Brown actually defends himself on Twitter, and we're gonna go into his tweets, but honestly, I just don't know how I feel about this in general. It's just very uncomfortable to me. Here, I'll let you guys come to your own conclusions, because the very first thing Antonio Brown says is, my name is more precious to be diamonds and gold. Y'all keep playing with my character. They tried to bury me and forgot I was a seed.
What?
I tried looking for the Antonio Brown translator in the response. I don't really see any translation down there. So if someone wants to translate this for me in the comment section down below, I'd appreciate it. But here's where we actually get some tweets that we could actually interpret from AB. And this is just typical Antonio Brown behavior, playing the victim in the situation. Check it out. It's crazy to me that even after I retire, there is disinformation coming out about me. Ironically, during a time when the NFL is getting heat for allowing players to play when they're clearly concussed. They've been using black men as guinea pigs. Look, man, this could mean one of two things. Either Antonio Brown saying, hey, did you not see that shot to the head I took from Vontaze Burfict and the many shots to the head I took in my career? Obviously, I'm gonna act like a dumbass and post it onto social media, but more likely what I think he is saying is, hey, do you remember when the NFL tried to force me to play football despite sustaining a huge injury? They wanted to shoot me me up with Toradol and make me play on a hurt leg. And since I didn't want to play and I took off my jersey and ran off the field during my final game versus the New York Jets, and since I threw Tom Brady under the bus, I am now blackballed from the NFL. Let's forget that video of Antonio Brown sprinting very shortly after being released from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doesn't exist. So that's part one of him playing the victim here. Now here's the tweet that I'm a little bit more interested in, but it also features him playing the victim. You see, every chance they get to sway the heat off themselves, they use me. In the video, you can clearly see she runs off with my swim trunks. If roles were reversed, the headlines would read, AB having a wild night with nude female. Yet when it's me, it automatically becomes a hate crime. Here's the problem. We don't see the woman nude in the video. Not that I want to, but she's clearly fully clothed in this video, and she is also swimming away in this video. So it just makes it look like Antonio Brown is butt naked, making this woman feel very, very uncomfortable to the point where she's swimming off. But that's besides the point. Look, man, I've been doing NFL and NBA news for this is year 4, which shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I absolutely love this job. One of the criticisms I typically get is, oh, you're only reporting this because the individual is black. That's not the case at all whatsoever. I mean, here's a good example. On Flight Mike about 2 weeks ago, I reported on the Ime Udoka case. I made reels, I made shorts about this entire case. I usually do this for one of the more trending topics in basketball and football. One of the top comments was, oh, you're only making this a big deal because the coach is black. Why aren't we talking about Brett Favre? I made a Brett Favre video literally 7 days before that. It was way longer as well. It got its own reels. It got its own shorts. At least when it comes to my content, it never has to do with the race of the person. It has to do with how well known the guy is, how much people care about the guy, whether it's Antonio Brown or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, which you can make an argument for him doing his own type of bizarre stuff, although not in as uncomfortable of a way as Antonio Brown did. But you literally had this guy coming out and saying that his future with the Green Bay Packers is uncertain, demanding that his general manager gets fired because they cut his favorite practice squad wide receiver, making all sorts of demands. It was truly a frenzy when we talked about Aaron Rodgers in 2021. What I'm trying to say is this has nothing to do with the color of your skin, Antonio Brown. If I saw Aaron Rodgers doing this type of stuff, I would report it the same exact way. At the end of the day, what I think this is, and it truly makes me sad to say this, is Antonio Brown just trying to cling on to whatever type of relevance he could get whatsoever. And the reason it makes me sad is I just want to see him back in the NFL. I mean, I loved watching this man play. He clearly still has plenty left in the tank, as we saw last year, but it seems like his mind is somewhere else, trying to flex money that I don't think he has, because he has lost out on so much money in his career to impress his followers and try to climb up some sort of social ladder, which I personally don't even understand his goals at this point. But I wish him the best. I think at the very minimum, he has a great career in media waiting for him. I mean, if he started a podcast, I think it would be very successful, but every time I make a video on him, I get a little sad at the end. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. Do you think I was too harsh on Antonio Brown? Do you think this video was taken out of context? Or do you think that I hit the nail on the head? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.